Hi, with Life Skills Patrol, 6 to 8 every Saturday on Beagle Radio, 88.1 FM, or online at beagleradio.co.nz. A minute ago, we were talking about a man look. What is a man look, and why do men get such a hard time overtaking a man look? Well, it seems that when the wife was tidying up the caveman's place, he would be away hunting. Now, the wife developed a keen sense of perception. She could smell things she didn't want to smell. She could see dirt she didn't want to have underfoot in her home. She could hear the kids getting into trouble and sort it out before they knew she was coming. But the man, he was a hunter. His focus was sharply tuned on the hunt and nothing else mattered. Not the trees, not the grass, not the blue sky, just the hunt. He saw the beast and knew what it was going to do before the beast knew. That's how he always managed to bring home the bacon. The mammoth. And so the story goes, this is how the woman's keen perceptions and the man look were developed. So ladies, without the man look at work, our kind may never have made it to the generation of the children we know and love in the school these days. So yeah. Let's all say thanks for the man look being in existence. Thanks. You want to say thanks?
Thanks.
Thanks, yeah. Thanks for the man look. And the crowd goes wild. Yay! Something else I'd like to say thanks for is Pope Francis and Bernie Sanders. So Pope and Bernie want a moral economy. What is a moral economy? Well, the Pope says, man is not in charge today. Money is in charge. Money rules. But it's not hard to imagine Bernie Sanders uttering the same words. Sanders, a Jewish Democratic presidential candidate from Brooklyn, went to the Vatican last month to join the push for a more moral economy. In a speech recently, Sanders berated those who tell him that a truly moral economy is beyond our reach. He pointed to Pope Francis as the world's greatest demonstration against such a surrender to despair and cynicism. So what exactly is a moral economy? Pope Francis spells out 5 key points in his many speeches and letters. The first, inequality is far too high. Pope Francis says the world is an economy of exclusion that is literally killing people because they don't have shelter or enough to eat, even though food gets thrown away in many places. He goes as far as to say the trickle-down economics isn't working, and he encourages world leaders not to shy away from some redistribution of wealth. Well, come on, Ronald Reagan had the idea of trickle-down. He was only a TV cowboy, come on. We have to end the throwaway culture. That's number 2. Pope Francis points out how the well-off around the world salivate for new things to buy. The culture of prosperity deadens us to what truly matters in life. Instead, we run after material things, many of which will be thrown away. He says this is a cultural and a moral issue. Number 3, build an ethical financial system. The Bible warns against the worship of idols such as the golden calf. But, Pope Francis says, the world has created new idols that are even more ruthless, such as money. And he wrote in his famous address at the end of 2013, how can it be that it is not a news item when an elderly homeless person dies of exposure, but it is news when the stock market loses 2 points? He says money must serve, not rule over people. Number 4, stop destroying the environment. Yeah, you guys, stop it, eh? In addition to calling out inequality, Pope Francis has increasingly criticised world leaders for allowing environmental destruction. The earth, our home, is beginning to look more and more like an immense pile of filth, he said. Pope Francis believes the technology is in place and will change our ways if we let it. Number 5, end corruption and self-serving tax evasion. In late 2013, long before the Panama Papers, Pope Francis called for an end to widespread corruption and self-serving tax evasion, which have taken on worldwide dimensions. How to fix the problems? Pope Francis and Sanders have both been called radical for what they are saying. People say Bernie Sanders is radical? Read what the Pope is writing, Sanders said recently on a morning show. But both of them have also been criticised for not providing enough concrete solutions. Sanders tried to rebut that in his speech at the Vatican. As a world, we are rich enough to increase our investments in skills, infrastructure and technological know-how to meet our needs and to protect the planet. Our challenge is mostly a moral one, he said. Words of wisdom, do you think? Something else I'd like to... right, so tonight we're talking music. Making money for retirement. Sorry, Pope and Bernie. And by making money for retirement by investing and also by dealing in jewellery boxes. We'll be talking graphic cards and computers and getting a job. So without further ado, let's welcome into the studio our first guest, Mort. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Yeah. So had a good day?
Had a pretty busy day.
Got a busy evening?
Got a busy evening, yep.
Yeah?
Yep.
You're performing?
I'm performing in 2 more hours actually.
2 more hours?
Yeah.
So, okay, well, out with it. What do you do?
I'm pretty much a full-time musician and full-time musician, pretty much.
That's pretty cool because Northland is a really creative place and I guess we get criticised for having high unemployment, but there's actually a lot of talent here.
Yes, I agree.
And you've managed to make it a living.
I've managed to make it a living, yes.
Wow, how did you get to do that?
How did I get to do that? By becoming
Start from the beginning. The mince, the chicken.
the mince, the chicken. I get it. I became a solo father, so I wanted what I should do for a living. So I just decided to be a full-time musician. So I left my job and stayed home and practiced for 6 hours a day, and then
6 hours a day?
6 hours a day. Yep.
Anyone who wants to be a musician, you recommend they practice at least 6 hours a day?
I don't know, but that's it worked for me. Yeah, and then from there on, because I didn't have very much money, so that was the determination for me to make sure that I played well enough to earn money. So I was pretty much eating mince for ages, and then once I developed my skills on learning how to play, I got a job teaching music, and then I went from mince to chicken.
Mince the chicken, going up in the world from. So, I remember you telling me the story of how you started busking. You learnt songs exactly the way they sounded on the record, right?
Yep, I did. I was trying to think of an advantage from a viewpoint where I could get more work than the next person. So the thing I thought of was to be more play music precise, whether I was busking or whether I was playing in front of anybody, just to be different. So out of that, I did 3 months of solid 6 hours a day practice while my daughter was at school, and then 3 months later I got asked to join an original band, and then we were recording, then I was touring the country, then I ended up touring around Australia, and now 12 years later I'm a full-time musician. So
that's pretty cool. So in those days when your daughter was at school and you were practicing 6 hours a day, I mean, lots of people want to be a professional musician. Were there ever any doubts creeping in? I mean, and what kept you going if they did creep in?
Okay, I did have no doubts at all, I must admit. When they did creep in, I suppose they do creep in, there's the fact that if I didn't pull it off, then me and my daughter wouldn't be eating. So that was the motivation right there. But because I was so determined, it didn't seem that long. I mean, from 3 months not being able to play much till 6 months later touring, I mean, the results spoke for themselves.
That's phenomenal. Okay, so then you were touring. Then what happened?
Well, what happened? I got offered a teaching job in schools, and found a whole new passion actually. So I saw during my touring time and the time I was playing that there was a lot of musicians that from a school level that weren't very disciplined. So I had a bit of a vision to take a school band and teach them how to all the groundwork of being a musician. So I had the fantastic opportunity of doing that with a school band called Take Two, and we're into our 3rd year now, and every single musician in there knows how to do PA work. They all know how to organise a gig. They all know how to turn up on time.
That's a big EA.
Yeah, all the basic stuff that will probably be really good for them in future and anything else they do in their future with their jobs and all the rest of it.
So you're talking about the basics for setting up the stage and having stage presence and choreography and
yep, all that stuff.
Looking like a unit and moving like a unit and sounding like a unit. But there's a lot of technical musicality that you teach, and it's not so much the academic side of it. It's more the actual playing, isn't it?
Yeah, there's the actual playing. Yeah. What I've noticed in the school curriculum is it's based around a lot of academics, and I find all of the musicians that have a real passion for it end up missing out. It's just my viewpoint, only my opinion. And so what I thought is I would teach all the techniques of what musicians need to learn when they're actually out there doing it. So I experimented with this band called Take Two and taught them all everything that I know as a musician, and I think it's the best grounding for them to follow on from school to the next band, because over the years I've noticed that students that come from high school haven't got the experience to jump from that into an adult band. So what I thought I would do is show a high school band everything there is to know about how to play in a band and how to get on with people and all the basic things of the music industry that musicians don't teach you, basically.
And one of the things I really like about your style is you don't pretend to know everything. What you do know, you know absolutely perfectly. But you often bring in other experts to help out in other areas other than just playing the instruments, right?
Yep, yes I do. One of the things I'm not very good at teaching is probably the vocal side of things, and that's when I usually use experts to come in and just help me with that. What I also like doing is bringing in those different musicians to give a different viewpoint to make sure that I'm on the right track sometimes as well. So one thing I found that's really important of this whole process is admitting when you're wrong, and seems to benefit the kids a lot better.
I've got really good at admitting when I'm wrong. I'm wrong most of the time. So you've got this band Take Two. They're at a local college, and what sort of places? Where have they performed?
We've done a whole range of things actually. We've done local festivals, and we've done Christmas in the Park twice. We've done we've done a couple of private functions. We've been asked to play at other establishments, but everyone is fairly young, so I wouldn't advise that. But we're currently going into RockQuest in 2 more weeks' time. So this is going to be our 3rd year competing in it. Everyone's pretty prepared. We've been doing it for 3 years. Everyone has their own routines about preparation. We've got another hour and a half to go, and next week there's 1 more week to go, and then we should be all ready. We'll be entering RockQuest and Pacifica Beats in this on Saturday the 21st.
So where do you see the Take Two band and your career managing them? Where do you see that moving forward? Where do you see it going?
At the moment, because we have a mixture of year groups in the band, I like to be really aware of their academic studies. So what I've been doing is trying to balance up the music with their academic studies. So ideally, though, the discipline that the kids have, they've got all the tools they need to go as far as they want, really.
And you're actually moving on. I mean, you've gone from musician to educator,
Yeah.
and you're actually upping the ante on the education stakes, aren't you?
Yeah, I am a bit. I'm at university at the moment, finishing off my degree, and I'd just like to be able to do the same thing in other schools actually. So I think it's really beneficial. The reason I like to teach it is teach the system I teach is because there's a lot of young musicians out there that's all they want to do, and over the years I've never seen that being shown, and I very much enjoy inspiring people, and especially musicians. Nothing beats it. And at the moment with the band Take Two, the things I've shown them are things that are industry standard, so when they leave school and go on their own adventure, they'll probably find it really surprisingly how much they actually know.
They'll be a few steps ahead of the competition just by the experience they've already had.
They have, yeah.
So, you've just gone from strength to strength to strength, and you've always challenged yourself. So I mean, the first challenge was practicing 6 hours a day so that you could go busk, and the next challenge was jumping into a band 6 months later so that you could tour Australia, and then the next big challenge was jumping into teaching. But it wasn't enough to be a successful band manager. And then you decided to go ahead and get the teaching degree as well. So you're doing that, and you've won the support to enable you to do that. What would you say to someone who is right now where you were, say, about when did you start playing? When did you start busking?
2006 is when I made the commitment to be a full-time musician.
Right. So if someone now was in the same position you were in 10 years ago, what would you say to them?
have a very clear goal of where you want to be, and before you make the move, do quite a bit of research. Go around and find people that are doing what you're doing, and see how achievable it can be. That's what I did. I went and hung out with some people that were doing what I'm doing now, and I was quite surprised to find that at the time I was trying it, there was at least 12 people that I knew of that were making a very good career out of music. So they were my instructors, pretty much.
Your instructors, your inspirational, your mentors.
Yeah, and they
so find a good inspirational mentor. That could be another clue.
That could be another clue. Yep. But research is the most important thing, and just if you have a dream, just go for it. You know?
Put the work in.
Put the work in, and just keep your eye on the prize, is my new saying.
Yeah, keep your eyes on the prize. So, but yeah, the world is full of hard workers, and some of them just don't get anywhere, no matter how hard they work.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it comes down to this thing called luck, labour under correct knowledge. It's not enough just to work. You've got to be doing the right thing.
Yep.
How do you have any tips for anyone who's working hard, not getting anywhere? I mean, perseverance is one thing, but how do you know when you should change your strategy?
Right, yeah, that's an interesting question. And my answer to that is having an ultimate passion for what you want is the ultimate key. Like I said, I was living off probably $30 a week when I first started, when I was dreaming it. So I had, and I'm thinking, I just knew I was going to do it. I was that passionate about it. I just knew that I was going to do it. And if you have a very set mindset like that, you can't fail. It may not be exactly where you envisioned it, but you will be doing something within the dream, I think. My original dream was to just be playing in a band, and that was it. I didn't actually think about the financial reward of it until it came, and then that just came secondary. But because that's probably the third lifetime goal I've ever done. But
what were the first two?
I used to be a New Zealand's best at a sport I used to play, and I was that for quite a few years. And the second one everyone always says is being a dad.
So we're talking about the
darts. Yeah.
Darts. Yeah, we're talking about the darts, being a dad, becoming a musician,
yep.
And now becoming a fully employed teacher.
Yeah.
So how's the study going for that? Because I know you're a busy guy, so thank you for giving us this time.
At the moment, because I'm really focused, I'm finding it fairly easy. And when I say fairly easy, the study's hard, but the determination to want to do it makes it easy to commit to it. I hope that doesn't sound too confusing. No,
it makes a lot of sense. All right, so are you still looking for schools to go and teach at, or?
At the moment, I'm not. I'm still employed by a couple of schools. Excuse me. I just going to stay with the schools I've got at the moment until I finish my degree. I've been working at these two schools for a little while, and of course, one of them I've been at for almost 7 years now, 8 years. No, at the moment I'm not. I'm just focusing on my degree, and I'm just teaching at the schools at the moment, so I can still stay within the industry plus study, so I can have a good understanding of all my theory and implementing it in practice.
And I know you have a big heart, and you also have a big ambition to do something that's not being done with kids and music, right?
Yes, I do.
Do you want to tell us about that, or is it top secret?
No, it's a passion, and I really encourage other people to have a go at it too. My passion is to be able to show young musicians how to be disciplined in music and how to achieve what they want to achieve, and how to make an employment goal, I guess, out of it. Is some of the things I want to do. I really enjoy it because I know what sort of dedication it takes to learn an instrument and all those hours of practice. So in my eyes, if you're going to spend that much time playing something and dedicating that much of your life to it, why not be shown how to make a living of it?
Yeah, and something I've just thought of. This wasn't one of the questions on the list, but I think you and I have spoken about this in the past. There's a whole lot of life lessons in music. When you teach what you teach and your students pick up what they pick up, it's not just technical skills of how to set up a stage or how to connect your leads or how to wind up your leads or how to pack up and pack down and how to play it and how to sing it. It's not just the technical aspects. There's actually a lot of life skills.
Yes.
Can we talk about that for a minute? Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, sure. In my years in the industry, the main one that I've seen that's been a thing that hasn't been unsuccessful for some people is discipline. Basic things: turning up on time, being nice to everybody, being a part of a team. A lot of things that actually haven't really got anything to do with playing, to be honest. Like I said before, working as a team, being a good person.
Hasn't got much to do with playing, but no one's going to play with you if you haven't got these skills.
Yes, that's right. That's right. And then I find if you within music you have a lot of life skills such as in my culture it's called Whangarei, but it's things like getting to know each other and spending a lot of time with each other and respecting each other. I think that's the main key. I think in music that I find that's the life skill that lasts forever, and everything else just trickles down from that.
So I know you've organised a lot of events for the Take Two band members, and they're friends in a lot of ways, aren't they? Because of those gatherings, and it makes a difference when they get on stage.
It certainly does. What's really interesting while we're talking about Take Two is every single person in the band were not friends together when they first got together, which was the first time I've ever tried to first time I've ever actually coached the band like that.
Well, they're all different age groups and different years at school, aren't they? So most of the time, your year 12s and year 13s and year 14s, most of the time they don't engage with each other at all, do they?
No, they don't. But over the years that I've been playing music, music has no barriers. I've noticed over the years, like you could have a lawyer in your band and you could have a guy that lives on the street, and it just doesn't matter because you're together playing music. And with them being in different age groups and peer pressure being high and everything, that just takes all that away when they're together. So yeah.
I think that's lovely that music is so powerful that the guy that lives on the street puts up with the lawyer.
That's so true. Yeah, and the mutual respect is what I really enjoy about music. Because the band's been together now for 3 years, and they've got this unbreakable friendship that's there forever, and it's the same for the last 20 years since I've been playing. Most people I've played with over the last 20 years, we still have a tight friendship even now. It's been 20 years since, I've been about 15 years since I've seen one of them. And the Take Two people remind me of that. And
so it's quite a mature thing to see in high school students, isn't it?
It is. It's very mature. They've taken aboard all that so much now that when I run the practices, I'm just facilitating now more than coaching now. It's really interesting. Like they all. It's like watching 7 of myself. They're very disciplined. They're very goal orientated now. They realise now if you have discipline at the start of it, it ends up being more fun, and that's one of the other ingredients I'd love to share to more kids that play music. Because if you put in the hard work at the start of it, it's enjoyable forever, versus not putting in so much effort and then fighting it the whole time. I don't know how to put that in another term.
No, that makes sense. There are so many people that don't learn the thing properly at the beginning and can't figure out why it's always been hard. And there are some people who make it hard to begin with. They learn it properly, and the rest flows.
They do, yes.
Yeah. So, if there was anyone sort of listening, I think I had 3 listeners. If there was any one of them that wanted to know how to get hold of yourself or a school that you teach at, or a school that can offer this kind of life skills to their student through music, to their child as a student through music, how can they get hold of those schools or you, or what would be the best steps for them to take?
Okay. At the moment, I've actually cancelled my classes. Only focus on two schools at the moment because of my studies. Normally it would be I'd have my classes running. I used to have a private studio at home where I used to teach these philosophies. The last time I ran them, I advertised once, and it ended up being too much. I ended up getting quite a lot of students all in one hit, which I was quite buzzed out about, to be honest. But at the moment, I haven't got any time than I have at the moment to teach it. But after my degree, however, that's going to be a whole different phase. Yeah.
Cool. We'll have to get you back.
Yeah.
And then advertise away.
Advertise away. Yeah.
That sounds good. All right. Well, there's before we round off the interview, is there anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, I would actually. The philosophies that I've been teaching the band that we've been talking about have been recognised, I suppose, by a lot of other musicians. And what I've been hearing feedback about is just how much that's going to impact for them from here on forever, because they've been in a school situation, having a band ran and managed like a professional band, so they have quite a good template to begin life with as a musician. That's all I got.
And other people are recognising it.
Other people are recognising it. Yep. And the other thing too is I noticed about the whole thing is because the kids are like, they treat each other like family. They're very humble when they play, and that's something that's pretty rare in teenagers, I think. Yeah.
That's amazing, isn't it? That people who are just so good at what they do are still nice people and humble about it.
Humble about it, yeah. And that takes you a long way in this stage.
It's a bit like you, Mort.
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
I like it. So, if we take a short break, would you like to demonstrate some of your guitar playing?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yep. All right. We'll take a short break. We'll be back momentarily after we've set up.
Hey, dude.
Okay, here we go. Switching. 3, 2, 1. We're live.
Hey, welcome back to Life Skills Patrol on Beagle 88.1 FM or online, beagleradio.co.nz. We were interviewing Mort a while ago and he's agreed to come online live, and let's play a little song. Mort on guitar. Take it away! She said, I don't know if I've ever been good enough. I'm a little bit rusty and I feel my head is caving in. I don't know if I've ever been really loved by a hand that's touched me, and I feel like something's gonna give. And I'm a little bit angry, well, this ain't over, no, not here. Now while I still need you around, you don't own me, we might change it. Hell, it just might feel good, I wanna push you around. Well, I will, I wanna put you down. Well, I will, I wanna take you for granted. Yeah, I wanna take you for granted. Yeah, well, I will. I will. She said, I don't know why you ever would lie to me. I'm a little untrusting when I think that the truth is gonna hurt you. I don't know why you couldn't just stay home with me. You couldn't stand to be near me when my face don't seem to wanna shine. Cause it's a little bit dirty, well, don't just stand there saying nice things to me. I've been cheated, I've been wrong, you don't own me, well, we might change it. I won't do anything at all, I won't push you around. Well, I will, well, I will. I wanna put you down. Well, I will, well, I will. I wanna take you for granted. I wanna take you for granted. Yeah, yeah, well, I will. Oh, but don't bowl me over. Just wait a minute. Well, I kinda fell apart. Things get so crazy, crazy. Don't rush this, baby. Don't rush this, baby, baby. I wanna push you around. Well, I will, well, I will. I wanna put you down. Well, I will, well, I will. I wanna take you for granted. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I wanna take you for granted. Well, I will, I will, I will, I will. I will, yeah, yeah. I wanna push you around and down to the ground. I wanna push you around.